The current economic climate has presented a challenge to long-established retail stores, which have historically enjoyed success in the industry. However, as the economy faces a downturn, these retail giants are now struggling to keep their doors open. Recent reports suggest that the United States is currently experiencing a retail apocalypse, with over 800 major retail stores projected to close this year alone. These big box stores, which are household names, including popular brands such as Starbucks, Disney, apparel, and grocery, are grappling with a host of issues, including debt problems, high inflation rates, and reduced sales, which have left them on the brink of closure. To help consumers stay informed and up to date, we have compiled a list of 20 retail stores that are currently facing challenges and fighting to stay afloat. It's essential to keep a watchful eye on these retailers as they navigate through these challenging times, as only the strongest and most adaptable businesses will likely survive. As consumers, it's also important to be aware of the impact that our purchasing decisions can have on these retailers. If we choose to shop at these stores, we can help support their efforts to stay in business and keep their doors open. On the other hand, if we continue to rely solely on online shopping or fail to support these businesses, it may lead to further store closures and job losses, which could have a ripple effect throughout the broader economy. So if you're wondering if your favorite store is at risk of going bankrupt, be sure to watch the video we've prepared to help you stay informed. And remember, as consumers, we have the power to shape the future of the retail industry by supporting the businesses we value and believe in. If you enjoy prepping tips, make sure to hit the notification bell to stay in the loop. In this video, we'll be discussing a surprising top 20 list of stores and businesses that have shut down recently. Kohl's, a company that started as a small grocery store in the 1940s, has been struggling with competition for years. Over time, it evolved into a department store, but has recently seen a significant decline in sales, attributed to reduced discretionary spending nationwide. The company's narrow margins have made this situation even more dire, and as a result, it has landed on Moody's Analytics bankruptcy watch list for 2023. The second business on the list is David's Bridal, which is often referred to as the Walmart for weddings. Unfortunately, they have filed for bankruptcy for the second time in 5 years, and the CEO has warned that without a buyer, all stores may have to close by the end of 2023. Next up is Jim Bearer, a store that primarily sells children's apparel. The company is experiencing cash flow problems, increased competition, and reduced foot traffic in their stores, leading to a Moody's downgrade to negative in March. In addition, Jim Bearer has recently filed for bankruptcy, resulting in the closure of over 400 stores. To add to their woes, the company is also facing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit from former employees. This information is crucial for parents to know. The 99-cent-only stores, another dollar store chain, is facing stiff competition, reduced cash flow, and declining foot traffic in their stores. Their financial forecast is not looking favorable, with a 3-quarter downward trend. Tom's Shoes, known for their buy one, give one model, has stopped donating a pair of shoes for every pair purchased due to supply and demand issues, inflation, and decreased cash flow. Many experts predict that this may be the last year for this once successful business model. True Religion, a well-known designer jeans company, has been hit by the trend of athletic clothing and a decline in apparel sales. They have filed for bankruptcy multiple times and closed 64 stores in recent years, all while struggling with their high price tag. Tops, a grocery store chain, is number 7 according to the Wall Street Journal. Morgan Stanley faces a potential loss of $375 million, which could wipe them out in a challenging environment. Joann's, a popular store in many areas, had unexpected success during the pandemic due to increased demand for home hobbies. However, Joann's gross profit dropped by 20% and debt increased to $21.5 million. Unfortunately, conditions for Joann's remain dire for 2023. In an effort to save the business, the company plans to shut down multiple stores and lay off hundreds of employees. Morphe, a well-known makeup brand, has been associated with Liberty's. Unfortunately, the company has been hit with multiple lawsuits over the past year, leading to the recent announcement. Morphe gained popularity in recent media, but unfortunately the company is now closing all U.S. stores. Sears, a significant part of everyone's history and a staple retail store, has been in decline for years, and many have noticed its disappearance. Since 2011, Sears has not made a full year's profit due to these reasons. It is likely that 2023 will be the year Sears becomes extinct, which is personal for me as it was one of my first jobs. Many retail stores are facing similar challenges as people hold on to their money more tightly with inflation rising. Christopher & Banks, a women's apparel store established in 1956, filed for bankruptcy due to the pandemic and inability to rebound. Sadly, over 400 stores are closing all around America, and Christopher & Banks bid farewell to their loyal customers. Like many other companies, Starbucks is struggling to handle the financial challenges of inflated prices, supply chain issues, and staff shortages. The company has decided to cut costs significantly to try to survive, which includes closing 500 stores, including those in your area. Another well-known company facing challenges is Disney, with numerous stores selling Disney-branded apparel, stuffed animals, and toys experiencing sales declines over the past decade. After closing 60 stores last year, they are planning to close another 50 this year. Yahoo Finance reports that Disney is cutting 7,000 jobs as CEO Bob Iger warns of future challenges. Art Van Furniture, a well-known furniture retailer, is another company facing financial difficulties. They have filed for bankruptcy and will be liquidating all assets. About 70% of their stores will close by the end of the year, while 300 locations sold to a different parent company will reopen as Love's Furniture. Clark's, a 200-year-old UK footwear brand, sold out to a Chinese company to try to survive, but the change in demand has resulted in potential store closures. The company may shut down 25% of its U.S. stores as it focuses more on digital sales. The restructuring has already resulted in almost 2,000 job cuts, and more may be on the horizon. Estée Lauder, a renowned beauty retailer that operates numerous brands, including Bobbi Brown, Clinique, and MAC, has experienced a 32% decline in sales in the last quarter of 2022. The company is reportedly cutting up to 2,000 jobs and closing up to 15% of its stores worldwide. Additionally, the company expects sales to decline by 12% in the first quarter of 2023, with revenue potentially dipping by 15%, causing its shares to fall to 53 cents this week alone. Furniture Factory Outlet, another significant furniture company, has filed for bankruptcy, adding to the list of companies facing financial difficulties. Guess, a popular apparel brand, reported a net loss of $2.9 million in quarter 3. Gas and other companies are blaming supply chain issues and inflation for the current challenges they are facing. Guess, one of the world's largest clothing brands, is closing 100 stores as leases near expiration. Similarly, H&M, a well-known fashion retailer, is struggling to survive after the pandemic and is reportedly closing 300 to 400 locations this year. H&M is transitioning and focusing on digital integration to adapt to the changing market. Unfortunately, the reality is that we are witnessing a collapse of traditional brick-and-mortar storefronts as consumers increasingly shift to online e-commerce websites and sales. However, many people still desire in-person shopping experiences, and the challenge is to make them financially feasible. As a result, physical locations across the United States are closing. It's worth considering whether the convenience of ordering things on your phone is worth the loss of physical stores where you can shop in person. Do you miss the physical places where you can go out on the weekend and do some real shopping? As we all know, the advent of online shopping has significantly impacted the retail industry, leading to the closure of many brick-and-mortar stores. With this in mind, it's important to consider the fate of our favorite physical stores and take action to support them. If you have a favorite store that is facing closure, we want to hear from you. Share your thoughts and feelings with us in the comment section below. Your feedback can help others to better understand the impact of online shopping on the retail industry and the importance of supporting physical stores. For those who enjoy the experience of visiting a physical store, we encourage you to consider taking a trip to support your local retailers instead of placing orders online. By doing so, you can help ensure that these stores remain open and continue to serve their communities. It's worth noting that if we don't take action to support physical stores, we may lose the opportunity to visit them altogether. Many stores are already closing their doors, and it's important to be aware of this trend and take steps to prevent it from continuing. Keep preparing, learning, and progressing, my dear friend.